Ladies and gentlemen, please be aware that foul language is prevalent within the following production. Have a nice day. Hey, happy Valentine's Day, fuckers.
Well, damn, that just started right off, didn't it?
Yeah. Just wanted to give it a little fresh something, you know? No, there's love in the air. And when there's love in the air, that means there's fucking. So, happy Valentine's Day, fuckers.
Yeah, what with all the fucking?
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
I guess we should introduce ourselves, but this is our 63rd episode, so you should know us by now. My name is Evan.
Well, my name is Shane.
Who's this guy sitting next to me?
Well, I'm Stick Dastardly.
Well, we'll get to you in a minute. First, I got to tell a story.
All right.
I got to tell a little story. So last night, I went to go to an event that Mr. Stick Dastardly, sitting to my right, put together for a live Danzig cover band. Is it cover or tribute band?
Tribute band.
What's the difference between the two?
Cover bands, they generally do various covers of like within a certain genre. Mm-hmm. And a tribute band specifies in playing songs by one artist as truthfully as they can.
Okay. Had to rewind that. I went to go see an event that Stick put together, who is sitting to the right of me, for a live Danzig tribute band called Lords of the Left Hand Path, and they're fucking amazing.
Left Hand Black.
Left Hand Black.
Yes.
Lords of the, just like the Left Hand Black Danzig song.
Yes.
Okay, so we're hanging out, and a couple of my buddies are there, and we're talking, and they brought a girl with them, and the girl was pretty. She was nice looking, so she comes over and she's talking to us, and she introduces herself as a lesbian. So I was like, okay, that's fine, good, great, I can be comfortable now. So everybody's talking and having a good old time.
Now, hold on. Does she literally introduce herself as a lesbian?
Yes.
She's like, hello, my name is, I'm just going to make up a name. My name is Ashley, and I'm a lesbian.
I would say within about the first 3 sentences, she made a reference to eating vagina.
Okay, I just needed to make sure.
And I was like, cool, home team. I like to do that as well. And there was a high five, and so I was cool. And then she let slip that she wasn't a lesbian, and I was like, okay. So then she started kind of hitting on me, so I panicked. So I was like, oh fuck, what can I do? And I was like, so today I spent an hour and a half downloading pictures of Shiva from Final Fantasy on my phone. And she went, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much in love with the goddess of frost, Shiva from Final Fantasy. She's like, well, that's cool. I've played Dungeons and Dragons before. And I was like, fuck, I thought that was gonna dissuade her for sure. God damn it. But thankfully, one of the other guys there actually brought her, and I think he saw me panicking, so he kind of like got in front of me, like literally cock blocked me. But it's probably the only time that I wanted to be cock blocked, because I don't know if I've made this clear or not, but I don't want to be in any relationship with any girls. Okay, let me take that back. Today for Valentine's Day, I'm making a fucking declaration. A fucking declaration.
Oh, really?
I am not going to date human women anymore. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be gay. There's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean that I'm going to start dating animals. There's nothing wrong with that. Guar wrote a great song about it. The only way that I'm going to go on a date from here on out is if a monster girl shows up at my fucking doorstep. So anything short of a green-haired, green-skinned woman with huge fucking horns and huge titties that lived on a mountain somewhere and probably killed people but won't kill me. She'll just play with my hair. That's the only time I'm going on a date. Maybe blue skin. I haven't made up my mind yet. Definitely red skin is appropriate. Purple, yellow, anything other than human women. So, thankfully, back to the story.
Are you saying people with yellow or red skin aren't human, Evan?
No, I'm saying that there's acceptable monster girls.
Okay.
Do you work for Fox News?
That was good. That would not be Fox News. That would be MSNBC.
MSNBC. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
They'd be like, yeah, those damn yellow and red people. Fuck them.
Yellow and red people, the fucking ketchup and mustards. I had enough with them.
Mayonnaise, too many of those.
I didn't even have time to relish that joke.
Hey!
Ultra combo. But anyway, long story short, she got pulled away by the other guy, and I didn't have to explain that I wasn't interested in her, even though I would have liked to have sex with her because she was attractive. But that's too much trouble, and I'm not interested in that. Because I'm done. I'm done with human women. I'm gonna be for fucking Anime Week in Atlanta. I'm just gonna break down and buy the body pillow.
It sounds like an anime, this story. So they brought this girl, showed up, and she's like, hello. I'm still going to keep using the same name. My name's Ashley. I'm a lesbian. And a few minutes later, she's like, I'm not really a lesbian. Give me your dick. Because this is what I'm at. Because you say you panic. So you're like, what?
Yeah.
And I just imagine, and he's like, how do I? I'm a nerd. Oh, I'm a nerd
Get
too.
away.
No. Dude. I'll stop you from getting together with this girl. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
It sounds like a freaking anime
I've turned into Yamazaki from Welcome to the NHK. It's like, I don't do real women. 2D women are the only ones for me.
So you like flat chicks?
They have to have shadows. There has to be the idea that there's something there. I can take 3D. What is this, 4D? Are we 4D?
Well, technically, we are in the fourth dimension that we know of, but we are three-dimensional, if you want to think about it.
I'll take 2.5D, like Fatal Fury, where you jump to the other fucking side of the screen and then you fight like this. But enough about my story. Let's get to our guest, the one and only Stick Dastardly. How you doing, fella?
I'm doing fantastic. My neck hurts for some reason, but
What happened?
Oh well, there was three excellent bands last night, and now my neck hurts for some reason. I can't quite figure it out. So,
Were you sitting in a chair with an awkward view of the stage?
I was not. I was standing right in front of the stage, for the most part.
Did you ever see that movie? I can't remember the name of it. It was a Japanese horror movie, and anytime they took a picture, a ghost would show up, and at the end of the fucking movie, you found out that there was a ghost sitting on his neck the whole fucking time. That's what's wrong with you. You have a ghost on your neck.
God damn it.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
And this is why, because I was going to ask, were there any metal bands there?
Yes, there were.
Well, we know that there were metal bands there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're known for, like, people seem to think they're into the dark arts, right?
Yes, the dark
And
arts.
And if there was a ghost sitting on your neck, then that's the dead, right? And the dark arts having to do with the ghost sitting on your neck would be necromancy.
Wow, and it's fucking Valentine's Day.
Yes. So, and you inadvertently named one of the bands. You said Dead Right. Well, the second band played was Dead Right.
Dead right.
That's so awesome. That was not intentional because I
That
have
was
no
not
idea.
planned.
I just want to make a joke about necromancy
Yes.
because his
Yes.
neck hurt.
Let me just point out, Shane did not know that band played because he lives in a cave, like way in the back of nowhere, and the specific device that I use to contact him within the cave broke today, so I don't know if I'll ever see Shane again.
Yeah. This is actually the first time I've seen Shane in maybe a couple years.
Yeah, it's been a long
It's been a
time.
while.
So let's talk about a couple of years back. When you first moved here, we were all still hanging out at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
And we were still LARPing at that time, I believe, right?
We totally weren't LARPing. We were doing something else. We were loitering.
We were loitering. That's right. Okay. I remember we skateboarded a good bit and kind of hung out down there. And there's another guy that hung out down there. I think his name was Bagman.
Bagman.
Could you tell us a little bit about Bagman?
Bagman was some asshole that had like these sugar daddy pajama. Man, when I say sugar daddy, I don't mean like Leisure Suit Larry. I mean like he had these yellow pajama pants that had pictures of the sugar daddy lollipops all over them. And he would wear those in this ugly mustard yellow plaid button-down short sleeve shirt, and had a plastic bag on his head, kind of like a budget Jason Voorhees, and he would show up and aggravate people.
Now,
Successfully, because I too was aggravated. Because I remember, I was like, God, I hate when he does that.
I just remember.
And then later on, I was like, Stick is really awesome. I don't know what changed between him then and there, but it's like he's actually a genius with his freaking comedy now.
Oh, thank you.
See, the thing is, great humor is often misunderstood. But if you keep repeating it for long enough, eventually your brain shuts down and you're like, you know what, this is funny. And then after you make the joke a few more times, you're like, fuck this isn't funny anymore. Then 3 more times, just don't do it, I can't believe it. That's the law of comedy, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was trying to remember because we were friends. We made our first meetup at was it Metal Fest?
I believe it was
It used to be in Dead Alive, a band called Dead Alive.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was the for some reason there was a costume party at Liz Reed's in the middle of July.
What year was that? 2001?
2001.
2000?
Yes.
2001, yeah.
And Dead Alive, we were playing that show, and you were in Fiend's Carnival of Souls at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we played that show together. I think that's the second time we met. We met at the Misfits show prior to that.
That's right. Was that the one where Mondo was wearing the old lady carpet fucking floor mat thing?
Yes. Yes. The fuzzy gray, whatever the fuck.
I think we mentioned that in the last episode when he was here, Bruiser. But he had a vest that looked like it was made out of the floor mats from like some really nice Cadillac luxury car. But it was a vest.
It looked like shag carpet you would see like in a cabin in the woods.
Yeah. It was amazing. He looked like a Viking from an 80s action movie. Like that just happened to be magically transported in time.
Like, did one of the guys from Manowar stay behind?
Yeah! Manowar! Good call! That's exactly what he looked like. But yeah, we went that had to be like 99 or 2000.
That was 2000.
Yeah, that was 2000. That was a long ass time ago. And then we both ended up joining Fiends. And then we were in the band for a while, and then we both quit, and then we joined again, and then we quit, and then we joined again, and then we quit.
Yeah.
And then I joined again, and then you joined again, and then you quit. And then I just decided to be Shadow from Final Fantasy and just lend my services until I get tired, and then I'll vanish.
Yes.
And hopefully nobody will leave me on the floating continent. Because that's just terrible. Did you guys save Shadow?
Oh, every time, yes.
Did you play Final Fantasy 6 Stick?
I didn't play 6. I missed 6.
Which ones did you play? What was your first one?
My first one was the first one on Nintendo, which I believe is actually, 3, I think, in Japan?
Final Fantasy... The first one was just regular Final Fantasy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Listeners, you can fact check us and tell us on the
Yeah,
Facebook.
I have no idea
idea.
what I'm talking about. I played the first one on Nintendo. That was the first one I played. And then I played 7, then I played Tactics, and then I skipped a lot of them and played 12. And that was the last one I played.
The last one I played was 8, and I got stuck at the fucking TV station.
Ooh.
So as you can see, I didn't get very far at all in the game.
I played 6. It was 3 here. I played Final Fantasy 3, then I played 7, and I played 8. For some reason, I could not get into 9. And then I played 10. I liked that one, especially for the freaking death metal song that came on when you fought the one boss.
And
was very
Yojimbo
surprising.
was in that too. He was badass.
Oh yeah. And
Which
then-
one did they turn Shiva into a fucking motorcycle? Which one was that?
It might be 13.
Yeah, they turned her into a motorcycle because I mean she's the goddess of frost. What the fuck does that have to do with motorcycles?
They all had some kind of thing they could transform into the game. I never played it, so I don't know. I never played it, but they all had some kind of thing that they could transform into.
Yeah, it's called a bad idea. Is what they had.
Yeah.
That happens.
We call that noodling.
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 And we're not talking about Steve Vai. We're not talking about Racer X. Man, that's old as shit. I can't believe I remembered that.
Bad for good.
Bad for good. That was what was his name? Thomas something.
Danny Cooksey.
That was the guy
Yeah.
from Salute Your Shorts, the singer.
Yeah.
But the guitar player was Tommy something. He was Steve Vai's protege. He was
Yeah.
like 12 years old. Just
Yeah.
all over the place. Man, I forgot about Bad for Good. Good call, dude. So back to what we were saying. So yeah, we've been in bands here and there together for a while. I wanted to think of some funny stories, and I know one that I wanted you to tell. And that was when I was not in the band, but you were, and you guys went up to, I think, Maryland for some sort of horror convention.
Yes.
And you had a run-in with a Reanimator, if you would tell that story.
Okay. All right. First of all, the whole way in the truck, it was our vocalist and his best friend for I don't know how long. They were in the cab, and then it was myself, our drummer, the other guitar player, and our bass player and his girlfriend, all in the back of a U-Haul truck for 15 goddamn hours.
No windows.
No windows.
Just a sweat box.
Yeah. It was literally raining sweat. Like, we would sweat, it would evaporate, it would cling to the ceiling of the box, and then it'll rain back down. And the bassist, Drew, and myself, we were drinking beer the whole time, so we were probably sweating a lot more than we should.
You had like osmosis beer.
Yeah.
Beer osmosis.
And then smoking cigarettes, and this is like a 15-hour trip. And
everybody was smoking cigarettes then.
Yeah, everybody was smoking cigarettes. It was in the bag. The only two non-smokers were where the goddamn fresh air was.
That's pretty good planning then.
Yeah. So we finally get to Maryland, and we do some ninja shit. We set up our booth. We find a space where there's not a booth, but there's right next to Tom Savini's booth, and there's an empty space that's probably reserved for someone else. I don't know. We set up our shit there anyway, so we had a space next to Tom Savini. And then the bassist and I were stuck behind the booth like all day one day. Everybody else just fucking forgot about us. We were supposed to take turns like hawking our merch. So finally, somebody comes back to relieve us. It's a bass player's girlfriend, and we're like, all right, we're going to go get beer. We've been here all day. So we go to the bar. And there's this huge crowd gathered around, and Tom Savini's a tall fellow, so I see his head like floating above the crowd, and I'm like, oh great, they've had all day to do this when they weren't in our way, and now that we're not here with him, they fucking follow him over there, so they're still in my way. So I'm trying to make a beeline to the bar. I haven't had a beer all day, and I really need one because I'm not good with crowds of people when I'm sober. So I go, and I'm like tapping on this little short fucker's shoulder. And I'm like, excuse me, man. And he just ignores me and keeps yammering on. So I kind of slap on his shoulder a little harder and, excuse me. And then he keeps yammering on. I'm like, move. And he turns around, and it's Jeffrey Combs. And I'm like, whoop, whoop. What do I do now? You know, I don't go, well, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Combs.
Didn't realize it was you.
Didn't realize it was you there. Fanboy needs a beer. No, what I do, what logic tells me to do, because I don't know, machismo or some shit, is I grab him by this, put both hands on his left shoulder and throw him to the ground. And say, out of the way, Herbert West, and step over and send him to the bar.
Completely assaulted the Reanimator. And you got the beer, right?
I did get the beer, and I did run into him at the VIP party that night, and that was awkward, but I apologize. I was like, rough day, and I had established myself as a dickhead already. So
I want to break character.
Yeah, you gotta follow through. And he's like, no, I totally understand. It's fine. I'm like, what? Really? Okay.
Did you push him over again?
No.
You gotta maintain that reputation, dude. That's how you sell CDs. Controversy creates cash.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody there that's probably why nobody came to our show. They're like, that's that dude that threw poor little Jeffrey Combs on the floor. That's his band. Fuck those guys.
He's like 4'7".
Yeah, little dude.
98 pounds when he's in the rain.
And there's that whole you should never put your hands on a man with glasses thing. Especially,
you're just breaking all the standards.
Yeah. And I'm not a big guy. But to
how
Jeffrey
tall
Combs,
are you?
I'm 5'10".
5'10"?
165 pounds. I'm very average.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey Combs, I probably look like fucking Evil Presley from The Independents next to this guy. Like, he's very small dude, so I felt terrible.
So are we talking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Game of Death versus Bruce Lee? Is it that kind of size difference?
That's a big difference.
That's like 2 feet, isn't it?
That's a huge
That'd be
difference.
more like if Shane were standing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That would have been great if Shane just showed up and kicked the shit out of Jeffrey Combs.
Just for no reason. Even back then, I don't think I would have done that.
We're all recovering assholes.
Though,
Yeah.
back at the time, I might have been like, hey, could you kneel like 1 inch? I'll just step over you. I might have done that back then. I might have said that.
Yeah.
That I might have done.
One of this may be a little embarrassing, but it's one of my favorite Stick stories. So please feel free to tell an embarrassing Evan story if you want to. One time I was in a band called Shikami, and previously we were called Escape Confusion, and we used to practice inside Liz Reed's. Well,
This is fine. Go ahead.
Stick actually lived at Liz Reed's, like in one of the offices there, because he was the bartender. He kind of ran the place. He's like just keeping shit together, right? So we would just go down there on Sundays, knock on the door, and we would go in there. So we show up one Sunday, and we're knocking on the door, nothing happens. We're like, fuck, hope he's okay. So Stick comes and he answers the door after like 10 minutes. And we're like, God damn, dude, you look rough. Let me give you an idea. So Stick had like, do you remember what exact outfit you were wearing?
No.
It was like a sleeveless t-shirt. Like it was like a Gigi Allen ensemble. It was like some really old clothes, but he was also, for a while you remember bedazzling?
Yeah. I remember that.
Well, he bedazzled himself with vomit. His entire ensemble had been vomit bedazzled. So I was like, dude, what the fuck happened?
In my mohawk.
It was in his mohawk. Vomit was holding his mohawk up. And I may misquote you, so please let me know if I do.
Okay.
You're like, I just remember getting drunk, and I passed out. And then, right before I went out, I heard a guy say, not in your own vomit. Was that close?
That's close. And then he said, then there was another guy behind him that was like, oh, is that Bon Scott?
That's mean.
Yeah.
That's mean. I would say too soon, but that was like 1980.
Right. And technically, he froze to death. He didn't choke on his own vomit. That's just a urban legend. He froze to death.
How did he freeze to death?
Sleeping in his car to avoid driving drunk.
Oh.
Wow.
Yep.
It does actually lower your body temperature. It just makes you feel warm.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's true. It's a blood thinner.
That may also be false. I don't know, but yeah, that's what I learned.
Yeah. Another time that I remember that we had one of the greatest laughs of our entire lives was Liz Reed's, for those of you who aren't from here, which is most of you, was a club back in the late 90s, early 2000s where everything came through. Like big name concerts came through there, and for us it was like home, because that's like all our bands played there. Our friends from out of town came there. We just went there, hung out, played shows, pretty much lived there. And I don't drink, so I just drank all the orange juice and water that they had to offer. And man, one day Stick and I think we were playing a show that night, but we were standing outside and there was a homeless guy. There's a homeless guy standing there, and it would have been one thing if there was a very fierce breeze. But this guy was just standing there, and all of a sudden, he begins to stumble. Out of nowhere, he's standing, and he stumbles, and he falls down hard on the fucking concrete. And we both go, and we just ran inside laughing. Because who just, from a normal stance, tumbles over out of nowhere and falls? And I was thinking to myself the whole night, it's like, maybe he had inner ear problems. No.
He's trying to figure it out.
Was he drunk? Did he step on his shoelace? There's so many things. All I know was that was the only time in my life that I've seen somebody go from standing up to falling down.
And I don't remember who it was, but I remember it was a girl actually had the audacity to ask if we helped him. It's like, are you serious?
Back then, we used to be much different people than we are now. We're a little bit more wise and patient, just a little bit more, but...
Okay, here's a good Evan story. Yes. Evan and I, there was a certain female that is part of leading to his declaration today. We were sitting in the parking lot of the Japanese restaurant in Marietta, waiting on his current girlfriend to come, at the time girlfriend to come out.
Oh God!
And there's this guy walking, and he's holding a baby, and he's like just walking across the parking lot, and he kind of stops and looks around his shoulder and takes a couple more steps. Then he like trips over his own like foot tip.
His foot tip,
and he drops the baby like a goddamn football.
It was a baby fumble.
It was a baby fumble. Like he tried to catch the baby and ended up flipping it in the air.
Oh man.
So this girl comes back. Evan and I are laughing so hard, and she says, "You guys are dicks. That baby's probably dead. You kill people."
Yeah, she accused us of killing the baby with our laughter.
Oh my God.
The baby was fine, but
Yeah.
like,
I'm not even convinced it was a real baby. They could have been ribbing us, man. It could have been a work. You don't know. But it was funny as shit at the time because we were both dickheads. Because we weren't thinking about, that is somebody's child. We were just like, look at that dumb guy who dropped that thing. Which to a certain extent I still am today. But there's a governor on my laughter now.
Yeah.
I've found. It's like, little fat kid falls off of a bike, falls onto the ground, great. Little fat kid gets hit by a car, probably won't laugh.
probably.
Probably.
Probably. Sick maybe.
Probably won't laugh.
I do think if one of you guys like randomly exploded, I would probably.
I would come back and haunt you if you did not laugh.
Yeah.
If I randomly exploded and you didn't laugh.
See, I would laugh now and be sad later.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
Right.
I've always wanted to see somebody hold in a sneeze and their head explode. It's like something that's always gone through my mind. That would be something else. Because I hold in a lot of sneezes at work. I'm really good. I don't even make any noise. I just go, see, you didn't hear it because I held it in perfectly.
Nice.
But enough about the old memories. Let's talk about these days.
Well, let me get in an old memory.
Oh, great.
I'll make it a good one.
Please,
About,
embellish some memories.
I talked about how I liked his genius with comedy before. I wanted to give an example of it that I thought was hilarious. And it's just one of those things that you never think about. And it's particularly funny to me because I would go everywhere and I'd go to like Walmart or something, and there would be these cans that are this well, I can't do that because nobody can see it. Imagine like if you cut a Coke can in half, that's how big they are. And I'm
6
like,
ounces.
and I'm like, who the fuck would want one of these things? And every time I went to Walmart or anywhere I saw them, I'm like, who the fuck would want half a can of soda? That's stupid. And then one day, Stick was talking. He's like, all these fucking people when I'm filming my movies, because you did like, I think it was horror movies you were doing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was filming, and he's like, all of these people, I have drinks there. And they fucking drink half of it, and they leave it. So I'm going to buy those half cans of Coke, so when they drink half of it's gone. And I was just like, oh my God, that's genius. And that's what they're for.
Yes. Assholes on horror movie sets who don't appreciate soda.
They're craft service Cokes.
Craft service Cokes.
That's what they are.
CFC.
I just wanted to get that because I was like, oh my God, it makes everything makes sense now.
Absolutely. I completely forgot about that. That was great.
I did too, actually.
So, let's see. Let's talk about your YouTube channel. Tell everybody about your YouTube channel. Plug your shit.
Okay, it's called Rad City Booze Brigade. You have myself, my girlfriend, her name's Paige, and then a random assortment of our drunken idiot friends. And basically, we just get as wasted as possible and turn on cameras. And then a couple days later, when I'm not afraid to look at the footage, I edit it, string it together, put a good musical intro and outro to it, and upload it to YouTube. And it's usually pretty good stuff. And it's a running thing. We're making more, and God, I don't know, maybe a fucking 80 hours of footage I need to edit. Yeah.
Now, do you do any play-alongs, like any gaming walkthroughs or anything like that? Because I know you play a lot of drunken Gears of War.
Yes. Sometimes we do upload Beers of War videos.
Beers of War, that's
Beers
what it was
of War,
called. I remember
yeah.
now.
We haven't done one in a while because the format wouldn't really. It doesn't really work with just the one angle. So I need to get like an actual DVR that I can record the footage to and do the side-by-side thing, stuff like that before I really do any more of those.
Because, I mean, just think, that is such a great premise, is like, get your friends really drunk and then try to play a very precise shooting game. And, it's just like a bunch of really slow, weird cussing and like shooting at the fucking ground.
Yes.
Who fucking shooting me, you piece of shit? And then you like shoot the dog that's not even on anybody's team. And I would watch hours of that and just, I would cry tears of joy.
So yes, that's my next goal, is to get an actual DVR so I can make Evan cry.
Please do. Please do. Please do make me cry.
Always a good goal. Make Evan cry.
But our current format, we're focusing on interviews, getting people really drunk and interviewing them about aliens or
Not aliens.
yes,
That's immediately thought of Ryan.
aliens.
We need to get him
is
drunk
a
and then
good
get
one.
the interview with him.
You do need to do that.
We've actually been talking about that. We
Yes!
really want to get him in on it. And
Ryan is our friend from episode 6, I think it was. The one where we talked about Rome.
The fact that you could even fucking remember what episode it was.
Straight Edge.
I might not have. I don't know. Was I even there for that?
That I don't remember.
I don't think I was.
Straight Edge. 34 years old. But yeah, so you got that going on, and tell everybody, now on this podcast before, I don't know if you heard the episode, but we had mentioned the Plug Uglies in reference to the Bahama Bob's, what the fuck ever that festival was called. It was fun, but we had mentioned the whole, the gang war.
yeah,
So they've heard the term Plug Uglies, but I don't know if they understand like what it actually is. So just kind of let our viewers know what it is, and just go for it, man. Let them know.
okay. We're a club dedicated to the growth of small music scenes around the Southeast, and we're actually becoming more national. But we don't have any hidden agendas or any underlying businesses or anything like that. So so all we're a family, we're a support system, and what we do is we lean on each other. Like there's a chapter here in Macon. I'm the Macon chapter president. So if the chapter president from say Montgomery calls me up, says I got these guys, need a place to play and a place to crash, he'll call me up and I say, okay, I got them. Your word's good enough. And that's basically all we do. And anytime we need to get together and raise money for one of our brothers or sisters for any reason, we'll do that. Yeah, that's it. Sometimes we are mistaken for other kinds of clubs.
You do have a very large back patches.
Yes, we do. We want to be easily identified, and
That'll do it.
Yeah, there are certain patches you can wear that would identify you as certain other types of patches. And
Other clubs.
other clubs, but we don't wear those patches. Like we want, if you know what you're talking about, you can look and say, oh, okay, they're not one of those guys.
They're not in those clubs.
Right.
We're saying the word club because we don't want to be shot.
Yeah. Now, we are legitimately a club. We don't do anything illegal. If our rules are, if you're caught selling or buying drugs with your patches on, you're out.
Of life.
If you kill somebody, you need to have a good reason. Like,
is that an official rule?
well, I mean,
There are times when you might need to kill someone.
yeah, like if somebody's trying to rape your grandma, you kill them.
Grandma rapers need to die.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
That's all kinds of fucked up.
But otherwise, don't just go around killing people. Don't kill somebody because they spilled your Coke.
Right.
Whether that's the drink or the drug.
Or you're out at the club.
You might be in a new club later.
Yeah.
You might not want to be in it.
Right.
Could you imagine some dude's just covered in blood and panicking, and like the whole club is just sitting around? It's like, we've discussed this thoroughly. I'm sorry, but we're going to have to revoke your membership. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just killed somebody. Calm down, Reginald.
Well, I hope you used the club because you're out of this one.
Yes.
Once again, Shade, 5 points.
General rule.
5 points to Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
The general way, we give a little speech to all the potential members that come to approach us about joining up and everything, and we always started off with, we can simplify our rules into one sentence. Don't be a douchebag.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
Every organization should have that rule.
Yes.
Absolutely. Do people still use douches? I know that women for a while were just like, that's not good for our bodies. So are douches still a thing?
I never heard it wasn't. Isn't it just vinegar and water?
Yeah, it's something to do with the pH balance. It fucks them up.
There has been an empty one found in the women's room at the particular establishment I work at.
Quick story. For the first time in my life, I used the women's room because I had to piss really bad. This was last year, so at this particular establishment, I was like, fuck it, I don't care. Nobody's in the women's room. I have long hair. I can pull this off. So I walk into the women's room, and I pee like a fucking Russian racehorse. It was just... just ridiculous burst and splash into that toilet. I lifted the seat because I'm a gentleman. As I'm peeing, I'd say about the first 7 seconds was just, oh, thank the gods above, this is wonderful. You take the breath, whoo, and then I open my eyes and I noticed that there's a tiny trash can. I was like, that is a cute little trash can. What's that cute little trash can doing here? I don't ever see any trash cans that small. So I blow my nose on the toilet paper and I step on the foot thing and I open it up and I found out what those little trash cans are for. And boy, let me tell you, it caught me by surprise. I was a little shocked. Have you been in a woman's room?
No.
You haven't?
No, I've not been in a woman's restroom.
But I'm sure you're a smart guy. You would have figured out what is in that trash can.
I would have, yeah.
Not me. A little slow on the draw, but I learned a lesson.
Tissue goes in here. Ew, jam rags.
Jam rags. Yeah.
I can just imagine it's like, ee. It was bloody frightening.
Shane Tipton, ladies and gentlemen. God damn it. You're magnificent. But anyway, so yeah. Back to the plugs.
Okay.
We were just talking about them.
Yeah, speaking of plugs. Oh, God. God damn it. Ugh. So the plug uglies are basically, they ensure that traveling bands have good places to play and have safe places to stay. I didn't mean to rhyme that. But you can definitely use that in your slogan if you want to. Good
It's
places.
okay. You can rhyme it all day.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see? Hey.
There you go.
Hey.
These two wordsmiths, man.
I tell you what.
But yeah, that's correct. That's us in a nutshell.
Now, how can people look into this?
If there's a chapter in your city, you can approach anybody you see in the patches and ask for whatever information you want.
There's no secret handshakes or.
No. Actually, we hug.
Oh, that's a good handshake. That's my
Yes.
favorite handshake.
Some of us hug too hard.
That
Okay,
sounds like a story you're
here's
just
a
telling in
story
a bar.
here.
Yeah.
We hug.
Some of us hug too hard.
What happened? Please tell us.
Well, it's a thing that happens sometimes. You go see your brothers are there and they're all some of them are pretty intoxicated and rather burly men.
See.
And they they're happy to see you and their excitement can be a little uncomfortable.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, overwhelming.
Suffocating.
Yes.
Crushing.
Always welcome. But
Yeah. Kind of like when you give a very firm high five and your hand tingles. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
That was such an awesome high
Yes.
five.
I consider that a transfer of good chi. Just,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's no kind of secret rites or anything that we have. It's just
You should totally get some secret rites, though. Because, I mean, like, you think about, like, the third, what's it called? The third degree of masonry, where, like, they put you in the fucking coffin, and they have your funeral.
What the hell?
You guys don't know about that?
No, I just mean, why would you add this to something like that?
Because it's badass. What if you were just like, yeah, I want to join this club, and then you go to sleep and you wake up and you're in a coffin at your funeral? That's one of the best pranks ever.
that's pretty great.
Yeah,
pretty great.
it really is. And then you have the crazy handshake and the light bulb and the fucking sword and the blood.
Light bulb.
Yeah.
You do know that's not originally meant to be a prank, right?
What?
It's not meant to be a prank. It's meant to expand your mind.
I know. I know. But it's still a good prank, though.
Well, yes, it would. It would be.
Do you remember when we were playing that show at Bentwood Skate Park and I fell asleep in the coffin? And, so
I know. Please tell me. I've completely forgotten this.
I rode in the coffin in the back of our singer's hearse, and I fell asleep in the coffin, in said coffin. And I can be quite a heavy sleeper, and so I guess the singer, he decided it'd be funny if like he and his brother who played bass, we'll get to that guy later.
Yes.
They loaded me out and onto our little staging area where we were getting ready to set up our gear, and opened the coffin lid to wake me up. And there was these 3 or 4 little 12 to 14-year-old girls that were standing around, and they freaked the fuck out. There's a guy. And that's what I woke up to, people standing over my coffin screaming in my face.
Did you go like Frankenstein, like, "Ooh"?
Kind of, yeah.
Yes.
It was more the Jason Voorhees that just sat up, real quick. And
That's
then
great.
They scattered. It was.
Could you chase them with a machete?
No, I was too tired.
I got you. Did you throw the machete?
I should have. I didn't.
Next time.
I didn't bring a machete.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I left machete at my house. So that was a good little segue you did there. Let's talk about the singer's brother.
Man.
Today's Valentine's Day, as we had mentioned, and one of our good friends who we will call, well, we'll tell you what we're going to call him in a minute. Basically, he is a police officer. He's a good police officer. You know, the kind that doesn't pull you out of the car and beats the shit out of you. The kind that actually treats you like a human being and, allows you to explain your situation if you have, if you're like trying not to shit your pants and that's why you're speeding. He's like, okay, you look like you're sweating, so you probably weren't trying to shit your pants. He's a good police officer. Well, he went from good police officer to best police officer in the world for today because he pulled over women that were speeding and gave them roses for Valentine's Day instead of speeding tickets.
Yep.
That's so awesome.
And he took pictures with them, and it's like that was the first thing I saw when I woke up, and I was like, "Look at this guy! Look at him!" And I said, "You know what? His new name is Cupid Cop Thunderbolt Mahoney."
That's very fitting. Very fitting.
That is fantastic. It probably for quite a bit. Sometime I bet they didn't speed.
Yeah.
Because now I will feel bad if I speed. This guy stopped me and gave me a rose.
Positive reinforcement.
Right.
Now I would feel bad.
Unless you get the really desperate ones that just drive through Centerville at top speed at all times.
Yeah.
I hope that guy stops me again.
I flash frozen flowers, so it'll always be beautiful.
Oh my God! This is the beginning of a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You had Maniac Cop, so now you'd have Maniac Citizen.
Yes. Maniac Cop 3, Citizens Arrest.
How many Maniac Cops were there?
I don't know.
That dude just died not too long ago, didn't he? The big jaw dude. He was in Tango and Cash. Broke my jaw, my legs, and my ribs.
I don't know. Oh yeah.
That dude had a fucking jaw on him for sure.
Yeah. I wish I had that jaw. I have no jaw.
You have a little bit of one. You have enough now that you have the beard. You can see it.
Right. I have to have the if I shave, I look like I'm 12 and I have no jaw or chin.
Some people literally don't have chins, like Chin Chan. Do you guys remember Chin Chan? That's pretty deep internets, I know.
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure somebody listening will remember Chin Chan, but let me see if I can bring up a picture of her while we're recording real quick. Okay, so Chin Chan, this, I don't even know if because the source where this came from is not really a good source. Of course, Shin Chan came up. Here's Chin Chan.
Oh my goodness.
No
Wow.
chin at all.
Wow.
And there's a girl that kind of looks like Butthead with no chin. But yeah, Chin Chan's a real thing. So anyway, back to more important things. The next time that you think that all cops are evil, all police officers are bad, you just remember, you heard about Cupid Cop, Thunderbolt Mahoney, here on The Offenders. Because he could have easily been in a bad mood because he had to go out and work on Valentine's Day when he much rather would have been with his amazing wife at home eating chocolates and watching Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
He could have beat the shit out of those women if he wanted to.
Yeah, he probably would have gotten away with it.
Yeah.
You know, that's terrible, but he didn't. He flipped the script. He said, you know what? I'm going to go out and I'm going to spread some good juju today. So, next time you try to say that all cops are bastards, you can say most cops are bastards because you've never fucking met Cupid Cop Thunderbolt Mahoney.
Right.
And I'm going to share a picture of him on our Facebook page so you can see him. So if you ever see him, maybe you give him a rose. Maybe you give him, some money so he can buy some more Terminator 2 Judgment Day related material, some John Carpenter things. He's a man who appreciates good horror and sci-fi.
Yeah. And classic heavy metal.
Yes, he's in a great band called Dragon Sleeper. I used to play in that band with him as the drummer for a while. And if you're in the local area, they will be playing on March 5th.
I believe that's correct.
March 5th at an establishment. Can we say the name of the establishment?
We can for promotional purposes, yes.
Okay. It is at the Back Porch Lounge, located on Riverside Drive. So make sure that you're there. Saturday, March 5th. Is that a Saturday?
Yes, it's Saturday.
Saturday, March 5th.
No cover.
No cover. But you'll be covered because Thunderbolt Mahoney will be on the scene.
Yes. Yes.
Man. So, okay, hold on.
Oh man, I just thought of something.
Let loose.
It's gonna kind of rain on the parade.
Oh,
It's gonna kind of rain on the parade.
I got
It's-
something to follow it up. Go ahead.
It's no fault of Thunderbolt Mahoney.
Okay.
However, some of those women, statistically, at least one of them is going to get home. And they're going to be so fucking disappointed in what their husbands did. Because some random cop just stopped them and gave them a rose. It's like, you didn't even remember it was Valentine's Day. A random cop stopped me and gave me a rose.
I don't see you pulling me over.
And then he'll get himself in more trouble because he'll be like, well, honey, you had the right to remain silent.
One of them's going to have a little turn and be like, oh, you want a rose? Well, there's going to be a bruise that rose on your face if you keep talking to me like this.
I've heard things about Thunderbolt's genitalia
Wow.
from a prior guest of your own, Mr. Bruiser Braswell.
Oh, the shoulder incident.
Yeah.
Please tell the story.
Apparently he was kneeling in the floor, I guess replacing a bass string or something, I don't know. And he said he felt what felt like someone clasped their hand around his shoulder. And he looked over, and Thunderbolt had his whole package still panted, by the way. It was
The total package.
The total package.
he hadn't unsheathed. It was still entrapped, but resting on Bruiser's shoulder. But he said it felt like a hand.
Hey, man. You changed that string.
Old Dick voice. He hadn't showed up in a while. It's good to hear him. I don't know if you had heard any of our previous episodes, but my dick has a voice sometimes.
Oh.
It'll talk to me.
I've heard a couple, but I haven't.
Yeah. And oftentimes I'll have to listen to it, and I most of the time I will take it with a grain of salt. Yes, like that sounds like fun, but I know that's not.
Hey man, that does sound like a fun butt.
You don't know how fun it is.
I couldn't even get the joke out.
Fun butt.
Fun butt. That would be a terrible candy. Remember Fun Dip? You don't want Fun Butt. So we completely skipped over something that's very entertaining.
Oh?
Can you please regale us with some of your tales as a entrepreneur of the karaoke business?
Oh goodness. All right. This is definitely a line of work where you see some shit. Not like in the way a police officer or a U.S. soldier does,
Or a plumber.
or a plumber, or a proctologist. But all right, you get to see people at their finest and at their probably close to worst. I've been doing this gig for about 4 years total, just 2 years at the current place I'm at, and there is one particular regular repeat offender who
No relation to this show.
yeah.
No, repeat offender.
Yeah, no relation to the show. That was unintentional.
Yeah.
But she not so much sings the songs as reads the words out at breakneck speed and then repeats the words "hell yeah" over and over again. But she says it like in a kind of a hoarse voice. She's like "hell yeah," and everybody.
That's true.
Everybody thinks she's hilarious, but she's like totally serious.
Yeah, that's what makes it funny.
But on the other hand, everybody isn't there dealing with it 3 days a week.
Yeah.
This is something that I know well, like from Spencer's.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks the fart alarm is hilarious because they have heard it once.
Right. Right.
She's like, it's not her real name. Can we say what she goes by?
She calls herself Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Okay, her name is Wonder Woman. Now, when I had first heard this, like Wonder Woman's here singing karaoke tonight, I'm thinking Linda Carter. Giant boobs, a whip if that's your thing, whatever. So I'm like,
damn it.
awesome, lasso. Okay.
She dresses like she was an extra in a Cinderella video back in 1985.
She really does.
But she's 60 something. She's like 62.
Yes. And the more excited that she gets, the more that the hell yeah transforms.
Yeah.
Like if she's sitting there talking at the bar, she'll be like, hell yeah. But when she's up on stage, she'll be like, hell yeah. But if she's like really into explaining something, she'll be like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Fucking yeah.
Hell fuck yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. But literally, I think we counted 37 hell yeahs in a song once.
Was it the Four Non-Blondes song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It's like it sounds like something she just said so much she can't not say it.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's almost like
It's like
like Tourette's.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had that happen once.
It's
too.
like Steve Austin with Tourette's.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've had something like that happen to me before, but only temporarily. When I had official New York accent day.
Oh.
And all day I spoke in a New York accent, and I did it for so long that at the end of the day, when I tried to stop, I could not stop. It took me 5 minutes of trying to stop using it.
I had a similar experience when I used to work at a local TV station, and the morning show director, I'll call him the professor, but you guys know him. Mm-hmm. The professor was a name that was given to him by the host of the show.
Pretty hardcore dude.
Yeah, he's quite a hardcore guy. So he got aggravated with me because I had been speaking in Bela Lugosi voice all morning, and then I couldn't stop.
Can you give us a little taste of that, please?
Yeah. Let's see. Are you seeing this shit? What the fuck are these two talking about?
Yes.
And I talked like that all day. And then, so we get off work, and at the time I'm living in dude's basement. So
I forgot about
the
that.
ride home, I can't stop. He's like, God damn it, will you stop? I'm like, I can't. But yeah, it happens.
It does happen. It just gets to be a habit, and you just can't stop doing it.
When parents tell their kids, don't make that face, it'll get stuck like that. They should say, don't do those voices.
Yes, that part would be true. Which reminds me.
Oh no!
So Evan's dad's in the kitchen making up some nice steak tartare.
You don't even cook steak tartare.
Shut the hell up. Whose
Okay.
story is this?
Okay, good. Fair enough.
And he looks over, he's like, Evan, son, you waste of electrons. Don't feed kittens to monkeys. That's what he said.
Is that the appropriate pluralization of mongoose?
I don't think so. But it made the story better. No, only a few people listening are going to get that. So perhaps I should tell you the original story.
Please do.
So Evan was telling me this thing. He's like, one day my dad was grilling in the backyard, and he just looks over to me. He just says, "Don't feed charcoal to dogs," and that was it. That's just where it stopped. That's what he said. And he told me that story. I'm just like, I'm just like, that's why would you say that? I never knew. And I'm just like, so from then on, that just became a thing that Evan's dad did. So from time to time, I'd just be like, that reminds me. I just make up some story and just tell him about something that Evan's dad said. And he always insults Evan, of course, because that's part of the joke.
Yes.
Even though that was not part of the original story.
Never a harsh word was uttered in the actual event.
And then...
Though I should have masturbated that day, here you are.
Well, that's a good one for next time.
God damn it, he doesn't need any help.
One day when we were doing the backyard wrestling thing, there was some charcoal on the ground, and one of the dogs started eating it. And I looked at Evan, and I'm like, where were you? This was the moment. And I was like, I guess they do eat it. There was a reason for it. And all of a sudden it all made sense.
Because the fat drips off the food onto the charcoal.
And I was like, oh man, you missed your chance, Evan.
That was you were born for that.
You were.
Absolutely. See?
You had one job
I did.
in life.
That was to stop that dog from eating that charcoal.
And just like Sylvester Stallone in Copland, I blew it. Man. But it's so funny because I'm sure all of you out there listening can relate, because you come up with a joke at your friend's expense, and then as the time goes on, the joke mutates. Sometimes into a completely new joke.
Yeah.
But the joke grows stronger, better, wiser, faster. And by the end of it, you're just like, where did this joke even come from?
Yes.
Today we were discussing, while we were getting some food before the show, we were big fans of the game Dead or Alive. It was great. It was a great PlayStation game. Still is a great Xbox game.
I don't know.
I don't know what it's on.
Well, I know Dead or Alive Extreme's not making it overseas now because the fucking social justice warriors, but I digress. There's a character in that game named Li Fang, and we are all big fans of Kung Fu movies. And while we were playing the game, it dawned on us, that is the perfect name for some coy old martial arts master to say as if she were in trouble. Li Fang? Yes, teacher. I told you to stop making the snake soup. Do this again, and I will not teach you Phoenix Eye Fist. For it is the greatest, no matter what Tiger School says. And that's how our brains work, ladies and gentlemen.
That is exactly how my brains work when I hear something. It's like, here's a nice, funny story to go along with that. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Now it's in my head. And now I gotta tell people.
That's what we're here for, to tell you the dumb stuff that happens in all of our lives so you can laugh at us.
So you can think we're morons just like everyone else does.
And it's the truth. Because really we all are. Some of us are just better at hiding it than others.
Yeah.
Specifically, these two are better at hiding it than I am.
There is a benefit to that as you get within the comedy thing and you start, like, you know, you say stuff to make people laugh. Then you do have one bonus. When something happens and it's embarrassing as all get out, at the very least, you can be like, well, at least I didn't even have to try to make them laugh that time.
That's awesome.
That happened to me. That happened to me when I was raking out there, and there's a little bird feeder, and because it has it's a hummingbird feeder, so it has sugar water in it, and ants will get in it. So there's this little thing over the top of it that's part of the wire, and it has water in it. So the ants try to crawl down the string to get in the water and
Die
or give up because there's water in it.
I'm done.
I guess fuck it. I'm done. I got other things to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Anthony.
but it's the bird feeder's not there, and so it's just a little thing, and it's still got water in it. Whether it just had water left in it or it's just been raining and it filled up. So I'm raking, and there's a limb in front of me, so I duck under the limb, and of course when I stand up directly under this thing. And it's cold while I'm raking. And I got my jacket on. See, this jacket, no one can see it, but I assure you my jacket is waterproof. So
It
what
looks like
happens,
Yeah.
of course it hits me, boom, dumps this nasty water on top of my head. And of course, it follows the curve of my head right down to the inside of my jacket. And I'm just standing there, I'm just like, and I don't get mad. I just take the little thing and I hang it somewhere far away where they'll never be there for me to mess with again until somebody puts it back up later. When there's a bird feeder there and I won't miss it. And then I'm like, well, now I need to change my shirt. And the whole time I'm like, and I smell like metal.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I'm not talking about like
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Slayer.
It's just like rusty metal. I'm just like, man, this sucks. But at least I have a funny story to tell later.
Yeah, exactly. That moment of clarity where you're like, man, this is going to be awesome in about a week and a half.
Right.
But it sucks right now.
You had one job, Jacket.
This is what you were for. I wanted to not be wet or cold. You failed both.
That may possibly be a user error because I'm pretty sure the outside of the jacket was still okay.
I will admit that there was indeed a little bit of water on the back that did not get through.
Like a frog's back, just rolled right off.
I wonder if there's some kind of like physics magic you can do to make a like water attractant cloth. Then you can make water repellent, water retractant clothing, so shit like that won't happen anymore.
That's true. It's called hydrophilic. There is things like that, yes.
Hydrophilic?
Yes. Hydrophobic repels it, hydrophilic attracts it.
I thought that just meant you like to have sex with water.
That's a hydrophiliac.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That would be that. That's true.
I myself am a dendrophiliac.
You like to have sex with dandruff?
Trees.
Oh, awesome. I'm going to leave that one alone. We could branch off into that, but...
I'll be rooting for you.
Yeah, nice.
And with that amazing set of puns, I think we're going to bring it to a close because I actually have to take Stick to do his job where hopefully he won't hear, hell yeah, hell yeah.
That's Sunday, I certainly will.
Oh, man. Well, we thank you for dropping by here at the Offenders and talking to us. We'll probably be getting back to you in an unspecified amount of time.
Anytime.
And once again, plug all your stuff so people know how to get in touch with you and want to, if they want to join any of the things or watch your stuff.
Let's see, Rad City Booze Brigade on YouTube and Facebook. Dastardly 777 on Xbox Live. Yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I guess we'll talk to you next time. We will have some more guests coming up. And thanks for your patience with everything. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes.